So once logging in, the user is greeted with this page where they have the AI assistant here, the history, and yeah, as you can see, all of their history that is tied to their login page. So so the AI assistant here. In the main page, the user isn't able to ask anything about the data itself, but you know, it can ask any. So yeah, it doesn't have any information about the data yet. So once the user uploads, so the user can click here and then they can choose to either, I mean, I have two different tests here. So I'll be uploading this specific Excel sheet to demonstrate what would happen if a user would upload data that is not matching the template that the system needs. So I'm going to click this. And as you can see here, it shows a match your columns page, and it says that it couldn't find and match every exact required field. So it's taken everything and it's matched things according to what the system thinks it is. So here it's taken week and matched it to sales week. It's taken center outlet ID, matched it to branch ID, meal item ID to menu code, checkout price, sales price, base price, menu price, and so on and so forth. And it's kind of matched everything already to make the system prepared to get ready for the information. So yeah, I've chosen an interval of 4 weeks here. So it is finalizing, and then it shows a review for unrecognized items. And it says here some of the meal or center ID weren't trained at the data set. And if it's matched what it can against the existing menu categories or cuisines. So it says here 5 menu items are new to Forecast IQ. Once resolved below, we'll estimate demand using their category, price, promotion settings, location, and the sales history in your upload. These estimates start from a wider confidence range than items Forecast IQ has trained on, and it will get more and more precise as the user uploads more and more history. So, and it also says it also detected that one item has no cuisine in the file, and so the Forecast IQ has suggested a cuisine based on similar menu items and trained data, and you can either keep the suggestion or choose another trained cuisine value. So here it's taken menu categories like drinks, matched it to beverages, pastas to pasta, rice meals to rice bowl, sandwiches to sandwich, soup to soup, and then they have cuisines here. They all match each other. And then this is the item where the cuisine could not be found, and so this was the suggested cuisine based on the information that was trained. So most likely the system believes that it is a continental cuisine, but of course, if the user feels otherwise, they can override it by choosing a different cuisine. Once clicking confirmed and saved, and then the user is greeted with the main dashboard itself. So they are shown the immediate records, weeks of history, the locations, the menu items, and here it shows the demand trend and forecast. The green represents the historical orders, the purple representing the AI forecast. Here it has a quick chart to show the top 10 menu items. Here it has a item and location drill down to show different types of locations and how the categories are shown. These two charts work together. So as you can see here, in all locations, the user is able to see all of the categories of food and all of the items, and is able to filter them by items themselves, like either food or beverages. So that's all for this chart. And then here down here is the forecast table. So the user is able to download a PDF of the entire page of all of the information, and they're able to download a Excel and download a CSV. And here it has a safety buffer. So the higher the buffer, the more extra stock is added on top of the forecast. This is completely optional, and it's up to the user themselves. And so as you can see, it adds by 5%, 5%, and the numbers keep increasing every time in the recommended quantity. So I'm going to keep it on 0. And here it has a filter by location, and it has a filter by category, it has a filter by cuisine, and it has a filter by priority, which is the most useful thing here. So the user is able to see what is most important, they're able to see what is on average and what is least important. So focusing on the most important items. So as you can see here, the most popular item would be the Thai milk tea. and the AI forecasts 715 time milk, and the user is able to manually adjust this if they feel so. So if the user feels that it's worth more, then it would save a higher value. And let's take a look at the second item here, the paneer or rice bowl. And if the user feels there is a promotional event that is happening, maybe this particular item is going to be on sale or on a discount, or maybe there is a public holiday. And another thing that I want to mention is that the since Malaysia has a lot of public holidays which we can't actually predict when it happens, it's impossible for the system to know when exactly. So I added this recalculation feature where if the user clicks on the star and it's marked as a featured item and they click recalculate, it would then increase the number to adjust whenever a user has like public holiday incoming or a discount coming, then they can recalculate, and then the item is then tagged as a featured item, and they can either clear it or click done, and it will save it as a featured item. And so now the user is able to just take a look at all of their most popular items here and make some decisions based on this, based on the AI forecasted and the recommended quantity. So down here, it has the track forecast accuracy. So since I chose an interval of 4 weeks, so it shows 4 weeks of data, and the user is able to actually inform the system on how well the system did. So let's just say actually there were 13,000 orders here, and then let's just say there were 14,000 orders here. Let's just say there were 12,000 orders here and 14,112 orders here. Exactly. Just for example. So save and compare. And down here, a chart would be shown for how well the system performed against the actuals. And the purple here represents the AI forecast, and the green here reflects the actual orders. And so as you can see, the forecast accuracy is 93.4% and a 6.6 average error rate. Total forecasted 54,465, and the total actual is 53,112. So this is just an example of how comparing actuals and AI forecasting would work to give a user an understanding of um, how well the system's actually performing on based off the data. So now I would like to demonstrate the AI assistant here. So here immediately the user is greeted with a hello, and the user is greeted with some early prompts of questions that they can ask. So, let's just try some of these questions. So category demand breakdown, a chart comes out, and then, it shows all of the food. And then, you can ask a quick question on bottom 10 lowest demand items. Yeah. And which items should I stock most next week? And then it shows here all of the top items. Then I can even do a cuisine breakdown. Yeah, so I've shown that already. Category, demand level. Yeah, so it shows an explanation. Yep. So now I want to take a look at some questions that I have prepared, like that I can ask to demonstrate different things about this AI. So the first thing would be forecasting and memory, and the first question would be, what are the top three beverages I should stock up next week? Yeah, so it shows by next week AI forecast. Here are the top beverages, and then it shows ice lemon tea, Thai milk tea, cold brew coffee as the top three. And then I'm going to ask, what about what historically? So by total historical orders and upload, here are the top. Yeah, so it just says this is what it is historically. And show me a chart for the top 5 beverages next week. So here it gives a chart on the top beverages, and you can see here at the top here, the iced lemon tea is the top, is the lead here, and then the next would be the Thai milk tea 1062 at 1,073 orders. So it reads exactly from the chart, and let's try a voice control here. Let's see. I have one another question for visual and category intelligence, and show me a chart on a category breakdown for next week. Yeah, so it then shows the user what is this? It asks the user if they want to send the prompt or not, or either they can edit their question manually, or they can retry if they feel that the uh, the prompt was not right. Yeah, so show me a comparison chart of food and beverages. So yeah, let me send this. So yeah, then it shows me a comparison chart of the beverages. So there's total 18,462, and then food and all other categories would be 37,000. So yeah, it also gives an explanation after each of the charts. And let's try a different question. So yeah, so there's a different kind of chart here of a category trend chart. So it shows all of the orders, the weeks, and yeah, so each of these orders you can check by, so for example here it's showing week 146, 147, 148, 149. Yeah, so 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 weeks, and you can use this to prioritize what stock to prep first. And let's see what other questions I can ask. Maybe the restaurant user wants to see what is the most popular location, because sometimes a restaurant chain has too many locations and the user is unable to cope with too many locations. So they can focus on what's popular. And so to understand what's popular, they can use this as well to understand which restaurants require more attention and which restaurants require lesser attention. So. So by next week forecast, here are the top two locations. So the user is able to know. So the top location has 6,750 orders, and the next location has 3,303 orders. And let's see, what about the second location? Yeah, so it just repeats that, it specifically targets that location, and then compare it with the top location. So yeah, you can see now the user is able to visualize how big of a gap the restaurant is, how big of a difference the top two are. So it seems that the top restaurant is way ahead of the second one. And then let's take a look at what is the most popular meal at each of those locations next week. So by next week AI forecast, the most popular item at each of these locations would be for the top restaurant would be the chicken rice bowl, and then the next one would be for the paneer rice bowl, and yeah, so these are the two most popular items. So yeah, there's a variety of things that the user can ask for, and so that the user is able to use this information to figure out what should be done and where focus should be implied, because with too many orders, too many items at too many locations, a user wouldn't be able to easily comprehend on what needs to be done, where and why. And this system helps them to make those decisions. And yeah, so that's all for the demonstration of the system.